We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Tonight, we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9?
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
Let's go. Hey, stand on.
They'll start on the ground. ETN.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, this defense for the Bucs, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
He'll buy some time right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Buccaneers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 46. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
6 yards left on 2nd down.
They'll go again to Jones. Room here to run.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, trying to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
Complete to Newsom. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. But no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down.
I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets, they don't do any of that. They just go back out the next drive and act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
On 2nd and 12, Lawrence. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Draw play, ETN. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I think a lot of people are a little bit surprised there that they ran the draw after that successful pass play previously. But the thought process had to be, maybe we can catch them rushing the passer and hit something big with the running play.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. On play action, Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
But I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Let's go, fellas.
The Bucs take over 1st down again at their own 20-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
To throw again on second down. Lawrence. He'll drop that underneath to ETN. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man, complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Lawrence going to throw again. Touchdown, Jaguars. Travis Etienne with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from evening this one up. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. These two teams all tied after one. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. He'll drop this underneath to Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A couple of nice plays right in a row, and the Bucs have a first down.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. A first down throw for Mayfield. He'll find Jones again, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Play fake. Mayfield. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Third and long for Mayfield. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Up the middle, Jones. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Now Waddle on the jet sweep.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg, and boom, over the crossbar.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together. They've got it.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Travis Etienne, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it. and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Point it right.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Josh Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Trayvon Walker able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
First down, Mayfield. Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Jones. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He needed 2. He only got 1 on the sneak, and that's going to lead us to a 4th and 1. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. Well, that was an intriguing call. You got a chip shot field goal. Tight game. Why not just take the 3?
I know that not all the old rules apply in today's NFL. And, in fact, I'd love to have an analytics coach here with us right now to say why that was probably a good play. I don't know if the analytics coach would have said that. That seemed like a bad play. Take the points there and move on.
And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
Ready? Ready, go.
final play of the half. It's Lawrence.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. This still anyone's contest, a 2-point game as we get back underway on EA Sports. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Mayfield to throw it. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got him. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
But Baker Mayfield only 6'1", but he can certainly sling it, and we saw evidence of that right there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead is already changed. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Following the interception, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
Lawrence going to look to throw for it.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it will stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. Mayfield now from the 50. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and this defense will take over right at midfield. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10. Right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And some space here. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. Lawrence will throw. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
2nd down and goal. Lawrence. Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Bucs are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Well, nursing such a small lead, you thought he'd take better care of the football after his last drive. Now for the 2nd straight possession, he's put all the pressure right back on his defense. They need to take a stand and hold that lead.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Regular. Real.
Out of his end zone, Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Back to throw now in his own end zone.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line.
At their own 39-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Lawrence.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
Even keeping the back end for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
A chance for Waddle on the return.
And he's out right at the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1st down Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, Most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Quick throw, finding Mike Evans. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. An inside give to Jones. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 57 yards rushing for him now to this point. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Again, it's Jones. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line. Great 15-yard effort on the ground there on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. A give to Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now here's a high-pressure moment for Brian Johnson. This for a 4th quarter lead. Johnson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Touchdown, Jaguars! Christian Kirk, 75 yards. And the Jaguars use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And this one is incomplete.
And next time, Brandon, I think you might want to consider running it because those defensive backs, they were plastered to the receivers, and they weren't letting up as that play went on.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield now. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mayfield. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 41-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. A first down throw for Mayfield. He's going to air one out. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. And the Jags are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Now ETN to start the drive. It's a room to maneuver. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Jaguars look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack.
Lawrence trying for Kirk, and he's got him on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out third and long.
They'll run with Etienne and trying to shake free, but Etienne cannot. The defense will stop him short.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
So an important one there as they widen their lead in this fourth quarter.
All right, partner, help me out with the math here. Make sure I am on point, because the way I see it, the other guys still need 2 touchdowns, but in addition, a 2-point conversion. So this is all about them playing perfect football from here on out.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Airing it out deep for Smith.
And that one almost intercepted. Could have been his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Jags take over in terrific field position.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, then you stop that clock.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. but if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
A gain of 4 yards. It's now 4th down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen. And you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Logan Cook to kick off for the Jaguars.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
They'll try the left side with ETN. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. And well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt.